Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys another custom origin called the Dreaded. So the Dreaded is basically meant to be an opposite to the Celestial origin that I did a while back. So yeah, let's get into it. Before I get into this video, I just want to mention that according to YouTube statistics, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing. It's free and helps out a ton. Also, this origin is made for 1.17. Moving on to your first ability, you have self-gravity. So basically, when you press your primary key, all mobs around you will get the particle effect. It's not meant to make this many particle effects. This just happens with pandas, llamas, and a bunch of unusual mobs. I don't know, I think it's something to do with their mob behavior, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, so moving on to your next ability, you have Dark Souls. So basically, when you press your secondary key, you will summon a bunch of, invisible wolves that give off this particle effect, and any mobs around them will get Withered 2 for 10 seconds. Now Withered 2 does 1 heart of damage per second, basically meaning that this can do 20 damage if the mob just comes close to him and close to the wolf and then leaves. So this can kill most Minecraft mobs within the span of 10 seconds, and they will die after 30 seconds. The wolves will die after 30 seconds. And yeah, so how the self-gravity thing is meant to look like is like this. So that's what it's meant to look like. I don't know why llamas, pandas, and polar bears look like so many particle effects. I don't know. But other than that, this is how it's meant to look like. And yeah, you also have an ability called Singularity, where basically when you press your primary key while crouching, you will summon this, a glowing shulker bullet that doesn't have any gravity. You can destroy it even in survival mode by just punching it, so yeah. And when you press your secondary key while crouching, you'll teleport to it and it'll disappear. Now, a couple of things to mention about this ability is that when you summon the shulker bullet, the chunk that the shulker bullet is in will be force loaded. So basically, even when you leave this area, this chunk will still be loaded. This is because I wanted to make it so that you can actually use this even when you're in the nether, and when these chunks are not loaded. This force load will be removed once you teleport to it, but if you just punch it out of existence, it will still force load the chunk, and all you have to do to unload it is just summon another shulker bullet at that exact spot, and then just teleport to that one instead, so that your game doesn't lag. You can use this in other things like making mob farms that work forever, but yeah, that's just something you're gonna have to deal with. I mean, that's a good thing, but I mean, if you're on a server, that would be a pretty unfair advantage. But yeah, let's move on to the next ability. Moving on to the next ability, you have Gravitational Illusion. So basically, whenever you hit a mob, it'll get this particle effect around them as well. So yeah. You can see the bar over here. So basically what this particle effect does to the mob is that it'll make it so that the mob has nausea infinity for about 30 seconds, blindness infinity for about 30 seconds, and slowness 4 for about 30 seconds. Slowness 5, I think. So yeah. Yeah, that's about it. This can be a bit annoying in multiplayer servers, especially if you use it on a player, because I mean the nausea is pretty strong. So yeah, you also have an ability called Between Life and Death. Basically, all living neutral mobs will attack you, while all undead mobs will not attack you. They'll stay passive towards you, even zombified piglin. And yeah, let's move on to the next ability. Moving on to next ability, you have Dreaded Feast. So basically, you don't lose food. You don't have to eat because your hunger bar will always stay full, but you can naturally regenerate. You can regenerate when you're like in light levels below, like in complete darkness. Like in light level 0, you'll get the regeneration 2 effect, which will regenerate your health. So yeah, this is because I didn't want to make it so that you can't regenerate without potions, because in like normal survival, it does take quite a while to get potions. So yeah, you also have an ability called Fragile, where basically you have 3 less hearts. There's not much to explain. And yeah, let's move on to the next ability. Moving on to the next ability, you have Banished. So basically, the Dreaded is basically meant to be an enemy of the Celestials. So when you're in light levels above like 10, you'll start taking instant damage. As in, you'll get the instant damage effect, dealing, well, instant damage. Now, when you spawn into the world after selecting this origin, you will be covered by this, well, I guess a cage of tinted glass, so that you'll not take damage instantly. So yeah, you will get a couple of free samples of tinted glass in the beginning, but yeah, this is so that you don't die instantly after you spawn. And yeah, let's move on. And yeah, that's it for this origin. I really think this is a very balanced origin because, it's not too complicated, but at the same time, it's not just the Celestial with just different abilities. The Celestial's abilities are mostly meant to be passive, while this origin's abilities are meant to be offensively good. And yeah, that's about it. So if you're unsubscribed, make sure you're subscribed, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, another thing to mention is that please tell me what you think about this origin in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.